Are we live? Are we live?
All right, have you guys seen it? You see it?
I see it. I see it. The red dot means it's real.
It's been a damn minute since we got together like this and did one of these. Long overdue, I think.
We're
agreed.
We're still alive.
Yeah.
We're still alive. The Rona didn't take us out.
Not yet.
It was close for a minute, but you know.
You know what you two fools missed last week? I mean, you talk about taking a risk on getting the Rona. We're playing our normal Thursday night, small crew of people, the usual suspects, right? We like to keep it safe and clean.
Yeah.
So we show up, and I'm like, yo, what the hell? The freaking court's full. So I walk on up, and people are just shooting around, and come to find out it's a local high school team of sophomores and juniors.
What the hell?
So then we get Trevor to come that day, right? His first day out, and sure as shit, they got someone else there just as tall as him. But apparently he ain't part of the high school team. I guess he's like, what's that? That NAU or something like that, or it's either NAU or Grand Canyon University, right? And I guess he's going to be playing over there, and but he's just as tall as Trevor. So they split up the team, but like the high school kids and then us, and it was funny because the college kid goes to me, and I made some point. I said, "Yo, man, I'm sorry. I just I'm not as quick as I used to be." And he goes, "What the hell are you talking about, dude? You're the first one down the court. You're the first one back on D." And I'm like, "Well, I didn't say I was the smartest one, man."
George, don't hurt yourself jerking yourself off too bad though. Like save your arms for later. You need them.
I was like, was that last part of the story for the video?
I was like 3 for 5. You know, outside I was probably like 0 for 4. But I was driving inside. Them young kids don't know how to body up. You got to be. I'm 41. You know, you still got to put it on them in there. You know, you can't be a punk in the paint. Now,
that's actually
did I try to draw a charge? Yes. Was the foul called on me? Yes.
Yes.
But I only got 2 fouls over the course of, I think, 2 full court games, and they had both coaches there, and the coaches were reffing. And I didn't even argue with the ref, so I didn't get teed up, which was crazy.
Coach probably didn't even know how to ref your ass, huh? They were like,
one of the coaches, the head coach came up to me and he goes, "Dude, you played just like I used to, but except I held shirts." So they don't play. You know, I noticed these kids. You know, look, the kids could shoot, right? The kids could shoot, but what I did notice is like everybody seems to play isolation ball. Like no one sets a pick right. No one really plays on D. And they're sophomores and juniors, so I get it. But you figure if you're playing ball in high school as a sophomore to junior, you know how to set a pick. You know how to call it out. You sure as hell don't call out a blind pick on somebody. They want to play like Steph Curry. They want to play like James Harden. That's all they want to do these days. Yeah, it's the game done changed, son.
I mean, I was going to say.
This ain't no Charles Oakley days.
Hey, Tyler was going to say.
They ain't trying to, like, I was trying to say they ain't trying to throw picks out on some park. Like, they're gonna play physical throw picks when they're playing in like a game, but other than that, they're out there to practice their skills.
I don't know. It was weird because they're playing on so they split us up, right? It wasn't like old bastards versus young kids, right? I mean, they weren't gonna do that, but so we're playing mixed, but the kids I don't know, like they were just like, there's a guy that's open, they're not looking to make that extra pass, you know. It was just different. It was just, I don't know. It was just like playing street ball at the Y.
How many points did your guy score on you? I just want to know. How many points did your guy score on you? That's what I want to know.
0. You want to know why? Why?
Why?
Because you fouled him.
Because he fouled the shit out.
Well, let me tell you one thing. I got 1 block and I got like 4 or 5 boards. It was stupid. Because I'm dumb. But my guy didn't score on me. But we know the guy that I ended up guarding. So. We know the guy I guarded, so
yep.
Let it be said.
Hey, yo.
It was.
By the way, time out here. Cheers. Back together.
Oh yeah, cheers.
Cheers. I got my apple crown going right here with a little bit of coffee in there. It actually tastes good.
A little coffee, huh?
Oh, yeah, you trying to stay up all night, make deals?
You know what? I'm in Denver. I'm like, hey, maybe after this video, I'll go back to the bar.
Might as well.
Oh, they're
literally walked back right before this video so I could come get on the Wi-Fi and do this video, and then I'm like, man, I'm probably gonna head back.
Oh, the bars are open?
They're staying open till like 11 or so. So I guess it depends on what time we get done here.
Where you staying up there? And that don't look like a hotel room. You got books and shit.
Oh, my broker, he lets me use his house.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
okay.
so I don't have to pay no hotel or nothing like that. I just come and make use of his house, and I don't have to pay nothing, so it's cheap as hell.
Does he live there too?
Yeah, he lives here, but that dude travels all the time. Right now he's in Florida. That guy is never here. So I really have use of this house like all the time if I want to.
Wow.
All right, so should we talk about some of the topics, or you guys got some?
I didn't even read the topics. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't even read the topics.
Hey, can we start out right here? Can we start out right here? Look at
Miami Heat.
Right there. Up 2-0. First quarter, Giannis had as many fouls as points. Like, Miami's balling out.
Did they win the second game?
Team. Yeah, they won 116, 114. They were up like the whole second half.
Really?
When you mean Miami, do you just mean Jimmy Buckets was all out?
Oh, no, the whole team. Butler actually had like 12 points. But like 7 players had.
I was like, 7 starters are cheating.
Yeah.
7 players
That's
had
the
like 10
ticket,
plus
Marcos.
points.
Hey, in the bubble, we didn't need cheaters. We had 5, and we ran.
We had 5, Tyler. And we went 8-0.
We
You
ran
need
the
7
table,
starters.
son. Yeah, and with having Ayton, we only had really 4.5.
Yeah, pretty much. Yo, but Miami Heat, come on, like they can switch everything on defense. They play hard defense.
And the great thing about
team.
it is the great thing about it is the best they can hope for is an Eastern Conference championship.
Really, you think so? I don't think so.
Yeah, they ain't beating the West. They ain't beating the West.
Tyler, do you think they could win a title? Do you think this team?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you know what? The funny thing about it, though, it's the asterisk season, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. But, yo, it's a 3-and-D league, and what does Miami Heat do? Best three-point shooting team in the league, top 10 defensive team, number 2 in the playoffs so far. Like, that's what they do. They do.
Listen, I'm no Lakers fan. I hate them. But how will Miami deal with Anthony Davis and LeBron if they match up?
Not at all. They'd be asking for autographs post game.
Pictures. Can we get a selfie?
Whatever. I would still get a LeBron selfie for sure. Come over.
So who's checking LeBron from Miami?
Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler for sure. But they can switch everything. They got Jay Crowder. They got Andre Iguodala. They got Duncan Robinson. They got Jimmy Butler. I
think the only person you named there that would give LeBron any trouble would be Iguodala. Maybe.
Yo, you underestimate Butler. Then you massively underestimate. Look what.
No. I'm saying in addition to Butler, like Butler's going to out hustle LeBron because let's be honest, LeBron, if he doesn't take his Metamucil that day, it's going to be rough for him.
That gray. That gray.
And that headband that gets bigger and bigger every single time.
Yeah, but LeBron is huge, dude. That guy's like the size of Karl Malone. He could just muscle Jimmy Butler inside if he wants to.
Yeah, I mean, he can, but Jimmy Butler's going to run his ass up and down the court. LeBron's going to have a freaking heart attack out there.
But Miami Heat don't let people do that. Look what they've done to Giannis. Like, Giannis ain't getting to the rack like he normally does. Like,
Giannis ain't LeBron.
They're quick. They're switching. They're everything. So,
Giannis ain't as big as LeBron.
He's bigger.
I don't think
mass size.
I don't think he's as strong as LeBron.
I don't think he's as strong. Mass size.
I don't know if he's as strong, but he's bigger.
He's taller.
Okay, so say they lock up LeBron, who's guarding AD?
I mean, bam, basically. That's his assignment right there. And they might have to do what they do best, which is scramble. Like their defensive scramble is amazing. They're always making every rotation. Like that's why they're top of the league in defense, number 2 in the playoffs. Like they're the truth. Watch out for them. Watch out for Miami right here.
You're lucky we didn't get in. You're lucky we didn't.
We would have been undefeated the whole way.
Lost to the Lakers in the first round. Yeah.
We would have swept the Lakers in the first round. They may have
been sweet. Yeah, the city would have burnt. The city would have burnt. COVID's been damned. 120 degrees on a Tuesday, and they'd be lighting the motherfucking city on fire. It's lighting up.
But yo, undefeated in the playoffs so far. Let's keep it going.
Who would they match up with if they beat Milwaukee? Who's next?
I mean, it's looking like Boston.
Yeah, it's looking
And
like Boston. They're up 2-0-2, aren't they?
yeah,
I think they are up 2-0, huh?
Yeah, I think
apparently
they're
it's like the
2-0.
first time in the history of the NBA playoffs that the 1 and the 2 seed are both down 0-2 like that.
Wow.
So
Was Toronto the 2 or the
yeah,
1?
2.
I think they were
Boston's a
2.
3.
Yeah. Wow. Can Miami handle Boston?
Maybe.
Yeah, Miami can handle Boston. On the real, like I'd be more worried about like the Lakers just because LeBron and AD can just like take over. And
Yeah.
at some point, it doesn't matter who's guarding either of them. Like they're gonna get theirs. So I worry about that more. But like Boston's more of like a team in the same way Milwaukee's more of a team apart from Giannis. But like,
And you got the
yeah,
former
they can
Knicks
handle
shooters
Boston.
got to
They
shoot.
have this year. They have. Shooters got to
In the
shoot.
Shooters got to shoot in the Lakers. Follow him to Cleveland. Follow him to LA. So keep shooting.
You got J.R. Smith there, Danny Green.
J.R. Smith. He'll take
Make a
20 million
boneheaded play.
fucking weird ass shots. He makes that one, and all of a sudden he's on fire for the rest of the night. You're like, what the fuck?
Could go off for 25.
Microwave. But yo,
Yeah.
topics list. What do we want to talk about?
Well, I got a topics list here. See how if you guys want to stay on topic or go on your own. But the first thing I talked about, the guy from the Black Panther died, man.
Chadwick.
Chadwick. Yeah. You guys, how do you guys feel about that? You care? You don't care? What do you think?
I care. I care.
I mean, I never really.
I'm not
cared
gonna lie. I haven't
much.
bought the last DVD I bought was fucking Black Panther.
Really?
That was
Actually, I remember that. I came over to your place when you
got.
got it. You were showing me the box.
Yeah, it was. I said, "Yo, this movie's it's the shit." It was good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was a cool. I mean, I think his the reason why I care, first of all, is that not that I really have any insight into these these people's personal lives, but I didn't even know he had cancer. Like I had
Yeah.
no idea.
He
I don't
wasn't.
think
sharing it.
everybody knew.
Yeah,
secret.
and I mean, and then like I was reading, and then like some photo was taken of him, I guess a year or something ago, and I guess like the internet trolls were like, he went from Black Panther to Crack Panther. I was reading this article about it, and it was like, man, how disgusting people are on social media.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that's fucked up. This dude went a horrible way. I mean, fucking colon cancer, bro. Like, damn, it's awful.
I bet all them people feel like shit that were talking shit about him losing
Probably
all that
not.
weight.
Probably not.
Probably not.
They have
Probably
to.
not. I bet you
Him
those.
dying
I
from
bet you the
colon
people that were
cancer, and they
saying
were
shit like
talking-
that are probably the same people that are saying all lives matter. I'm just saying. You never know, right? I mean, cultural icon.
I mean, I would have just blamed Reddit for comments like that, but Twitter maybe.
Well, Reddit for sure. Reddit's pretty bad, but at least Reddit, you know what you're getting into. It's not like Facebook where like it started off somewhat like okay, and you'd see photos and talk some shit, but now it's just become a complete dumpster fire of people.
Pretty much. I'm never that sad when a celebrity dies. Like every now and again, there'll be one that I really appreciated in some way, and I'll be a little sad. But like for Chadwick Boseman, like I'm sad about that because like he was a conscientious, just good dude. Like look at the roles he played. He specifically picked roles such as Jackie Robinson or playing like Thurgood Marshall or stuff like that. Like he specifically picked these roles of these iconic Black figures in history, and he did it for a reason. And the way he lived his life, the way he led his life, like I just have a ton of respect for him. And to lose somebody like that, like that's a big loss for any community. And for a community as impactful as Hollywood, that's a big loss. And it makes me sad for sure.
It meant a lot to a lot of people. There were a lot of good tributes that went on. I mean, like I said, I bought that DVD because I was like, yo, I haven't seen a freaking Black superhero, other than maybe reading them in the comic books, but like, I mean, Blade, but Blade was like a different thing, this.
The Luke
whole
Cage
culture
series,
of
that was like a
movie.
little different series too, but Luke Cage was
I mean, it was different, I mean, it wasn't like as culturally shocking as like what if there was this like city, this nation of Wakanda, right? And they had all this advanced technology and the whole social commentary on what was going on, because, you had Killmonger during the movie also that spoke to a different theme. I went back the day after I found out he died. I threw Black Panther back on Disney Plus. I was like, I got to watch this,
Yeah,
again.
I did the same thing. I went back and watched it.
Yeah,
I
George,
went back
but
and
why
watched
didn't you
it.
watch it from your DVD? What's up?
I couldn't find it. But I know I bought it. So the
It's
money
somewhere
went
in the house.
somewhere.
Yeah.
It's some money, I
Somewhere.
contributed. So, but yeah, I watched it again, and it was like, the whole Killmonger thing, because you're like, damn, I just want to punch him in the face. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's such a good villain. Michael B. Jordan was such a good villain in that, and then you kind of sympathize with what he was saying. Like, y'all been keeping the secret forever. You could have helped us out. Now the whole take over the world thing, he little jump the rails there, but it was a very good social commentary, I think, even though it was a Marvel Avengers movie. I think it really had some important things to say, and that you can take out of it, especially with what's going on now, right, in the news, and people actually catching the Karens out there in the world. And it just seemed like, damn, it was like that too, right? 2020, like they took this guy that was a great culture icon and probably had a list of other movies that he probably would have went through, Tyler, on famous people that were, historically, significant. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know where he could have
I'm
went
sure he
from
would've.
there. Yeah.
He would have played Morgan Freeman someday in his biopic.
Those are big
40
shoes
years
to fill.
from now. 40
You
years
gotta
from now.
You got to get a voice. You got to get a voice for that. You can't.
No, I
fake
think I
that
see
voice.
Michael B. Jordan playing him.
But one thing you said, George, about like the social commentary is like, that movie should not have been social commentary. That should not have been at all. Like, it's a real reflection of our society that it was, and that's in part why a movie like that was needed, and why a movie like that like needed to happen right when it did, given everything else is going on. But I wish we lived in a society where that was not needed, that was not social commentary, that was just like, oh, cool, this is awesome, look at their technology, look at what they're doing in life.
Do you think that in any way that was a method used to kind of humanize, or humanize is a terrible word to use for that, so to normalize white America's under subconscious feeling of maybe superiority, or and not blanketing everybody, but certain people that may have not really interacted with African Americans, or the Black population of the U.S., rural people that were into Avengers and stuff. Do you think that in any way a movie like that might have reached them to some extent, to be like, well, yeah, like maybe on a subconscious level, not like a slap across the face, like, oh, shit's been bad for a long time, the history books, we have to live in this fantasy world in order for things to be normal. No, but something a little bit different, right? Like something that maybe normalized, I don't know, or made them see people a little bit differently, or just through the act of wrapping it in like a candy coated Marvel movie. Do you think that might have been, some way to kind of slip a pill into like a piece of bologna for a dog? You know what I mean? Like just kind of medicate them, like, you know what I mean? Like, here's what's been
They
going
know the
on.
pill is there, but the bologna is so good.
It's so good.
A little bit. And I think that because, when you think of Africa, do you think of like these beautiful cultures that existed, 1,000 years ago there? Do you think of like the kingdoms that were there, and like modern day Africa? Do you think about like the beauty that's there, the culture that's there, any of that? Nah. You think of like pirates, you think of AIDS, like you think of shit like that. You don't think about the good things. Like the first thing that you don't think of like Nelson Mandela is the very first thing you think about, of like, wow, here was a luminary who came from there and really led the world. And like the way that movie portrayed it was that there is that beauty there is that culture. And yeah, it's talking about this made up world, obviously, but that was not the only thing that was there. And I could see like you subconsciously, since you're talking about under the surface, you subconsciously start to link this beautiful culture with this people, and you think that there is something more there. And that kind of like tickles in the back of your subconscious. So yeah, I feel you on that point.
So that's interesting that you would say that, because I want to circle back to something that you mentioned about the first things you think about Africa, and I wouldn't say those are the first things I think about Africa. When I think about Africa, the first thing I think of is uh, unspoiled nature. Is the first thing I think about Africa, and then when it comes to Africa, after that, I think about, what it'd be like to be in a city that's predominantly African, right? I mean, here in the US, at least moving to Phoenix, right? I'm not used to seeing, there's not many African Americans out here as opposed to where I live back in New York City or down in Miami, right? Where you see different pockets and cultures of people, right? So to experience that over there and just see the positive sides of Africa. I know we hear a lot of things about the diamond mines and the children soldiers and all that
Blood
shit. That's
diamonds,
there too,
yep.
right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
and I think
wild,
that's what we hear
right?
first.
I think that's what the media really portrays first on it. But to be truthful, at least in the US, you really got to dig for that shit. Like if you're clicking Fox News or MSNBC or CNN, you're really not getting African news, right? I mean, you're hard pressed to even get some Western European news. Like it's so US centric. There's really nothing going on outside of the US, and it's different if you read different things. You look at Reuters, you look at BBC, where you will get some more information of what's going on. Al Jazeera, for sure, you get things about what's going on in Africa. But the US media, not so much. So when they do, you're right, when they do say something about it, it's usually some crazy shit that's going on over there, which, let's be honest, you don't have to go clear across the ocean to see crazy shit. You could just look around, right? And then
use your 2020 vision.
Or it's like or it's on some sort of business financial thing right now that's talking about great investment opportunities in Africa, which is, truth be told, something that's pretty cool. I know someone that went back and is doing work in Cameroon right now, and she's from Cameroon. She worked at the company I worked at, and she left, and I believe she's going back and forth from there, or was going back and forth from there. Nobody's going anywhere right now, and taking an investment stance on back in her home country, right? And I'm like, wow, that's actually pretty cool. There's got to be a lot of opportunity there, because it is a big untapped market as well. Wow, we went way off. So yeah, Chadwick, man, hell of a. Whew, felt it. Impactful, obviously. We just had a whole side conversation about other things.
Yeah, but that's the whole point about Chadwick Boseman is like we have a portrayal of Black people in America. We have a portrayal of the country of Africa. We have all those different things, and here's this one person who came in and using the platform that he had said something that resonated.
Usually you see,
and he went to Howard.
And he went to Howard. It's slaves. It's they're always presented what the media in a certain covered, way.
Yeah. Yep.
He didn't allow that. It was yeah.
I've always kind of wondered, though. I mean, I don't know. We won't go there. What's next on the topic?
Well, just real quick, still on Black Panther, with the second one that's supposed to be coming out, I think in 2022 now. What do you think they're going to do about this? Who's going to play T'Challa now?
They're going to CGI his ass like they did with old boy in Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, Paul Walker.
But can they do that for a whole movie? You know what I mean? Like,
well, did they do any filming already? Did they have footage of him already or no?
No, I think it got delayed. I think they would have been if it wasn't for the coronavirus, but it got pushed back from what I read. So there's no footage.
Well, I mean, if it was going to get pushed back, how the hell was he going to do it anyway if he was in stage 4 colon cancer?
Well, right. But no one knew. I think it was a big secret. But
Disney probably knew. I'm sure Disney knew. I mean, that.
Who knows?
Please. Who knows? I mean, those guys, they're writing. They don't have like a normal clock in and go to work, fill out a self-survey if you're feeling sick and don't come into the building. You know what I mean?
Click,
Do you
click,
not-
click, click, click.
Quickly,
Do you
click,
not
yeah.
watch those
Oh,
movies
okay,
a little?
great.
Do you not watch those movies a little differently now, though, knowing that he was already diagnosed with colon cancer, was going through
You know what, I need
surgeries,
to go back
chemo,
and
and he still
see-
filmed these movies?
Ah, man, those guys. But did he film them while he was on chemo?
And well, I guess no one really knows, but I know he was already diagnosed when he filmed Black Panther, and he filmed what was it called, 21 Bridges, and then there's a couple other
I haven't
ones. that he
seen
also
21
filmed.
Bridges. I want to see that. I've been meaning to see that.
I haven't seen it either. I wonder if it's good.
I know someone that said he watched it. He says it's good. It's a good rental.
Yeah, but
But
I just trip out that this guy was able to do this. If he was having chemotherapy, surgeries, and all that, and he was still able to go and.
you know what,
A
man?
Marvel
The
movie's
hustle
pretty
never.
demanding.
The hustle never stops, bro. The hustle never stops. You know
He's
what
a strong
I mean?
guy, man. I don't know. I
Yeah.
saw my brother go through it last summer, and he was very weak. I don't know. I can't imagine doing all that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, I guess we'll lighten it up. And the next topic I had was Luka Doncic and DeAndre Ayton. Did the Suns screw it all up? Should they have gotten
Yes.
Luka?
Oh God, yes.
Yes.
If you
Yes.
are an NBA GM and you draft a center in the top 10 picks, you screwed up. Modern NBA does not cater to that anymore. You screwed up. Period.
I don't know. 8'5", Tyler, 350 pounds, solid muscle, maybe 400.
We
400.
ain't talking about your mom here, all right?
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Shit. We're gonna go there, right?
whoa, whoa, whoa!
I know where he lives.
Come on over. We'll hug it out. I don't know.
He's only about 12 minutes from you.
Yeah.
The way you talk about my mom, I'll be there in 3.5.
Yeah. I'll have a drink ready.
So I don't know. I think you're right, Tyler. I mean, who the hell drafts who drafts a freaking center, man? Who drafts a
Suns.
center?
I was just gonna say these guys right here.
God damn. Stupid. But like they don't got film on Luka. Right? He just showed up one day off the street. Oh yeah, I want to play ball. I'm in the draft. Come on.
From what I read,
Who's
it
the
was
scouting team?
From what I read, it was completely Robert Sarver. They wanted Ayton because I think he's from Tucson, has ties to U of A. He wanted his U of A guy. You know what I mean? So I think from what I read, McDonough and whoever else wanted Luka.
What blows my mind is you look at who passed on Luka. It's like Vlade Divac with the Kings, right? Like of all people who should know European players, that's a dude who should know.
Yeah.
And then
He don't care. He's old. He's old as hell.
Yeah, one of the other Suns
Atlanta,
guys
right?
has a lot of links. Yeah, well, Atlanta too. Yeah, they have a lot of links with European League, and one of their players, I forget who it is right now, but one of their players should have absolutely known, or one of their front office staff should have absolutely known because they have a lot of links.
Do you think Luka and Trae Young could have played well together?
No.
They were traded for each other, though, right? I think. Yeah, they were
traded for each other.
Yeah.
Oh, they
But
were?
no,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. But do you think Booker and Luka would have played good together?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'd love to see it. I would
I
love to
could see
it.
a shooting guard, small forward
right?
combination. Can you imagine having Luka instead of like Kelly Oubre?
I think he'd be running
Done.
point. We wouldn't have Rubio. He'd be running
True.
point.
Yeah,
Probably would
that's
be.
fair.
He's so much better. He's so much better than Rubio. I mean, would you want to keep a Rubio? But not because Rubio can't shoot, so you just got to get rid of Rubio.
Well, if you have Luka, I don't think you need Rubio. Yeah, you just don't even have him. I don't think they would even have signed him. So we would have just had Luka Doncic.
I mean, maybe off the bench.
Yo, speaking of off the bench, when DeAndre Ayton got benched and he's coming off the bench as a sixth man, like, yo, this dude is a #1 pick. Like, this is a world-known name at this point. You are the #1 pick in the NBA, and he's coming off the bench as a sixth man, talking about how he's going to be the secret weapon for the Suns or something. Like, nobody knows him, and like that's his game plan. Is like, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna get a couple. Nobody's gonna see me.
Best sixth man ever.
For sure. I knew he was trash right then. I
mean,
knew he was trash. Like, you can't be
for the
7-1 in there to
for the
dominate, and you talk about being a secret weapon. Get
For
out
the
of here.
record, he's not trash. I mean,
He's trash.
If you can,
Overrated.
we're just comparing him to Luka Doncic, who's like world beater right now. You know, DeAndre Ayton's what 17? He averages 17 points, like 10 rebounds. I mean, he's not trash.
Yeah, but Luka ain't a Clippers beater. He could be a world beater, but he ain't a Clippers beater.
You know what? Oh, I'm gonna lose my damn AirPods here, so that sucks. Should have charged them today. The only thing that yeah, I know it's just a fucking tragedy. Oh, my life is so hard. The thing I was thinking of that might be a pain is the unicorn, Porzingis, right? I mean, I was pissed that the whole thing fell apart in New York, right? And that he left to Dallas. I was pissed.
You could have had a bunch of seasons where you almost made the playoffs.
Well, but here's the deal. But you're right. You're absolutely right. And I tell you why. Because, well, first of all, I think Porzingis is absolutely right in leaving, right? I mean, the management is shit. You know, I mean, the whole thing was just a shit show. They dealt them terribly, whatever, right? And Carmelo, I'm sure, had some shit with him from what the New York media said, but who the hell knows? I think the big thing with him was he was injury prone, and the same thing happened this playoffs. He got injured.
He did, yeah.
So, you know, and so it's like, okay, well, you missed half the season before, or actually the full season. He's out the full season for torn ACL, MCL, right? That he got throwing down a dunk. No contact, nothing.
So are you saying you're happier with the Knicks' current roster than having Porzingis on the roster, on the team?
I mean, if it gives us cap space, I say yeah. If they're going to do anything with the cap space, you know, that's probably not going to happen. So would I spend money on buying a Porzingis jersey? Nah, but I go back and buy a Carmelo Anthony jersey.
What about an Amari Stoudemire Knicks
and I would,
jersey?
and maybe, if all goes right, you know, I'd go buy a Stephon Marbury jersey too. Just saying.
Hey, wait a minute. You know what? I saw a link today. Does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
Who?
Does Marbury deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? I saw something today.
Is that a joke?
Yeah.
I saw an article that was asking the question, does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? It was like
was this a
BuzzFeed Chinese Basketball
League
League Hall of Fame? Sure.
Yeah. Playing for the Zhongguang Tigers or whatever it was.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. He's been killing it for years out there, killing it.
Yeah, he should be the CBA Hall of Fame for sure. Like, he could be like an honorable mention for community service with his whole Starbury brand. Like, I'm gonna bring kids sneakers for $10. Like, that's a community service honorable mention from the NBA. But other than that,
would you buy some? Would you buy some Starburys?
I would have back in the day.
Back in the day,
I think I had a $10 pair of Starburys.
I'd love to see you wear those Starburys out with some pickup ball. I would love to see you. We should do a pickup league. We should do one of the leagues when league play starts again, and actually all wear Starburys.
That'd be amazing. Let's find them online. Let's buy these.
They're probably like $100. They're probably like $100, $150 online now.
Probably.
Yeah. Vintage, right? $200.
$200. Like, fuck, they were $10 shoes. What a great investment had I known.
Okay, so the answer is no on Marbury then. All right.
The answer is definitely no on Marbury. Sorry.
Oh, man.
What about Latrell Sprewell?
I just can't picture anything but him choking
out PG.
Yeah. Well, he's got to feed his family, right? Making all that millions.
Got to feed my family.
Making all those millions. It's hard out there.
Hard on those. Well, you know, he's paying New York taxes, bro. He's paying New York taxes.
Wasn't that in Minnesota at the time?
Was it?
It might have been. No? I thought it was. I don't know.
It was towards the tail end. I know it was towards the tail end. Yeah. These kids don't know who these people are. They're like, who the fuck are these inconsequential basketball players? Like, why do you guys know so much about like medium schlubs?
I actually had someone the other day. They said that they were surprised that Shaquille O'Neal was a good NBA player. They knew him as TNT analyst. They know him from, you know, all this NBA TV. They knew he was an NBA player, but they didn't know that he was good. I was like, are you kidding me? Shaquille O'Neal?
How many championships does he have? Does he have 5? Does he have 5 rings?
Mind you, the person that I was talking to is like
least.
16 years old.
I think he's got
but
4.
Still, I thought even at 16 years old that they would know that Shaquille O'Neal played basketball and was actually pretty good.
Yeah, no
Dude,
kidding.
Dominated.
He changed the game.
He just could not shoot a free throw.
There are very few players who actually change the game. Like Jordan changed how the game was called. Rules got changed because of him. Shaq changed how defenses was played. Like Steph Curry changes how defenses played. Like James Harden changes offense with the step back. Everybody's doing it now. There are very few players who do that. How do you not know? How do you not know Shaq? Who?
What about Steve Nash? Did Steve Nash change the game?
Maybe for Canada.
No, I would say, you know what? No, I would be honest. I would say Steve Nash is definitely a Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah, for sure. 2-time MVP? Of course he is.
Yes.
But
definitely
he didn't change the game. There's very few players who changed the game, and Shaq was one.
You know, he was different. He was different for sure. Steve Nash was different. I mean, he was just really fast, right? Really fast, had some great no-looks. He was just a great point.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Just a great fucking point. Like everything you want out of a point. He was a great fucking point.
He was like the 2000s version of John Stockton. Shoot a little bit, great court awareness, vision, all of it. But back to Shaq.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, what the fuck? Who is this person? Do they even like basketball?
Can we put them on blast? What's up?
What's their name?
I'll leave them as anonymous, but but yeah, they really had no clue. They were just like, the guy on TV, Shaquille O'Neal. Wow, yeah. I'm like, yeah, that guy was like legend. Like, he used to piss me off as a center for the Lakers, and he was always beating up on the Suns. But yeah, the guy, you have to give him his respect. He was a all-time great.
Yeah, I mean, he had a defensive strategy named after him, the Hack-a-Shack. Come on.
Right. The great Popovich Hack-a-Shack.
Yep.
I mean, it worked. He refused to shoot grandma shots too. He would not shoot. You know.
Would you?
Fuck no.
Hell no. I'm not turning in my man card to shoot granny shots. Like, I don't care if Rick Barry did it. Was it Rick Barry who did it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't care who did it back in the day. That's not me.
Yeah, back in the day, no one was dunking either. That was like, what the hell was that? Stupid.
All right, the next topic I got's a little more serious. It has to do with the police shootings and the guy that got shot in the back 7 times. You know, Jacob Blake. That was the name, right? Jacob Blake. So a lot of things that I've been seeing is people arguing about the guy's background and if he had like criminal, dealings, whatever. Do you think that matters when it comes to the fact that he was shot the way he was 7 times in the back, or do you think that's irrelevant to it?
I was trying to be polite. Let Tyler go first. Go ahead, Tyler. I'm trying to be polite. I've been talking a lot. It's your turn.
That's not like knowledge that you have beforehand. That's knowledge that you get afterwards, and then you try to justify what happened in the past, which with something that happened even further in the past. But like the bigger question here is really like, does anything justify police shooting unarmed men, women, anybody, somebody who is unarmed in that type of situation? Does anything justify that? Like, do we live in like communist China? Like, do we live in like Nazi Germany? Do we live in like some fascist state where like the police state we live in can just kill you for any reason if you're not listening? Like, that's not where we're supposed to be living. Like, America's supposed to be better than that. And even asking that type of question, like, no, absolutely not. There's no way we should be living in a country that is how we conduct ourselves. Like, that is not American ideals at all. And like, you can sit there and argue after the fact, like, oh, well, one time I found this, and like, you can always attack and tear down on anybody, no matter what. But that doesn't justify those actions. Like, you get hit, and some people rise above that, and some people don't. And America's supposed to rise above. So,
got any thoughts there on it, George?
I mean, I read an article today that talks specifically with police, like social media or communications department, right? Public relations department, and what their role is. And overwhelmingly, their role is to spin pro-police propaganda. So a shooting takes place, and if you go back to all the press releases that the police do, the social media posts that go up and are pulled down nationwide, not just what's going on here. The pattern is very clear that everything they come up with is initially the cops did it because this guy had a warrant from 10 years ago. This guy had a speeding ticket. You know, he mentioned there was a gun in the car and he moved quickly. Well, the car, if I mention there's a gun in the car, why the hell am I going to move quickly? You know what I'm saying? So I think what happens here ultimately is a situation where you have a narrative that's pushed by the police to make it sound like it's okay, and people are lazy and they just accept what they're being told, right? And the same people that are accepting what they're being told in this scenario are the ones that, like Tyler just mentioned, when the hell did they become, cop, jury, judge, executioner, right? Or judge, jury, and executioner. I mean, when did that happen? And the same people that are worried about the government coming to take their guns, right? Joe Biden's going to come take my guns, and we demand freedom and the Constitution, this, that, and the other, are perfectly okay with police indiscriminately firing rounds and blinding people in their eyes. This is a woman that just lost use of her eye. She was not a rioter. She was a peaceful protester. They were told to disperse. She's standing in a crowd. They go disperse. They start blasting away. This chick gets hit in the eye. She's not throwing Molotov cocktails. She's not doing anything. And so those people that are arguing against this massive government that's going to come do this are the ones that are on their side. For Christ's sake, this kid was down there. I'm here to help secure local businesses, and traveled from Illinois into Wisconsin to take up arms to help the same system that he's concerned with coming to take his weapons. It's completely like loony. It's backwards scenario. You would think that those people ultimately at the end of the day would be like, hey, we're going to stand and allow the peaceful protesters to be peaceful protesters. And we're not going to allow the police to start indiscriminately using non-lethal rounds, because in my opinion, that's a complete escalation. If you have people that are standing there and all of a sudden the police, for whatever reason, decide to call it a riot, it's a riot. They can start blasting people away. There's no checklist. There's no requirement that says, well, does these criteria met? Is this a riot? Is this really rationalized as a riot? Or, oh, it's 10 o'clock. I want to go home. Overtime is over, fellas. Let's clear this shit up. Night's done. And they start blasting people in a crowd. So they haven't shown any information on that. And so here's a situation where now the police are actually escalating on the people. You have the feds coming into Portland to protect a freaking building that someone spray painted on and threw rocks. A building that's got a fire suppression system. It's a freaking federal courthouse. It's not like they're going to bomb the hell out of it or anything else, right? You could secure a building. Secure the damn building. But you don't need to be blasting people in the heads and shit. And if you have people that are rioters, with all this surveillance and everything that you have and all this trained personnel, the Department of Homeland Security that can fly drones over and catch an illegal immigrant coming up off the freaking back of a freaking scorpion's ass. You can't pick someone out of a crowd and go get that person and arrest that person for throwing a freaking Molotov cocktail or escalating? No, you're going to go ahead and you're going to shoot everybody up in the street. Everybody. Gas them, everything. Throw people in vans. And you're supposed to be a professional. Are you kidding me? That's completely unprofessional. You don't even know what you're doing. And then you have a police union that backs that shit. I'm sorry. I got to do my job the right way. You got to do your job the right way. And I get it. I'm not a cop. I know shit's crazy. But you got all that technology. You got millions, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars that are given to you so you can have a goddamn APC and fucking, 50 million goddamn machine guns and tactical units and body armor and this, that, and the other. We're not at war. This is exactly what the Second Amendment was supposed to protect us from, was an overwhelmingly militarized force that could impose whatever will they want to put on the people. And yeah, there's a couple of bad cops, but you know what? When you're all lining up like that, and you're shooting freaking tear gas, and you're hitting people with rubber bullets in their freaking eye, and you're beating people, and it's caught all over the country with this shit going on. Hey, it ain't just one or two bad apples, bro. There's quite a few out there. And so
we need to be very honest with the situation at hand, right? The system is broken. It's broken. They're shooting people in the face that are white, black, Chinese, don't matter. Moms holding linking arms together to protect people, they don't give a shit. All it is a bunch of freaking, I mean, it's just fascism. At the end of the day, it's legalized fascism sanctioned from the top. And it's awful because I know people that are cops. I got family that are cops, good people, you know, or people I call my family that are cops. Actually, no, I do have family too, older. But, you know, it's a situation I wouldn't want to be in. There's money that's being allocated to the police that's actually probably, more than likely, I'm probably willing to say, not being used in the correct manner. It's freaking 2020. We got cameras for everything. My phone can unlock itself by looking at me. You can't pick out one or two people starting bad shit in a crowd, right? But it's okay to just blast everybody there. To me, I don't understand why those Second Amendment people aren't down there worried about local businesses. My question is why people aren't doing more.
Do you think that kid that traveled across state lines, do you think he's going to get off?
I'm sorry?
I can't imagine what would happen if he does. Like, they haven't gone after Breonna Taylor's killers already. Like, people are still upset about that. But, like, if that kid gets off, I mean, I can't even imagine the response from that, because that would be unbelievable. I mean, he traveled across state lines to go hunting. He had no reason to be there. And yeah, some of the protesters went across state lines also, for sure. I'm sure that they did, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about what he did. So I keep hearing these rationalization type arguments of, oh, protesters are crossing state lines too. Yeah, that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about somebody who murdered these people. And talk about self-defense. I read the whole police report. Dude threw a plastic bag and that guy shot him. A plastic bag. You talk about, oh, it was self-defense. Self-defense for what? You scared of a plastic bag for real? Like, come on.
Yo,
read the police report. It's very, very
though.
clear. Yeah, it's very clear. And like, all the cameras caught it, all the eyewitness reports, everything. It's there. And if that kid gets off, if that murderer gets off, I can't even imagine the response. Like, you want to talk about a system being broken? Damn.
Hey, but you know, you got Attorney General William Barr all over it, bro. So feel safe.
Thanks for throwing that my way. I feel safer now.
You feel safer? You feel safer? That dude must take 30 minutes to get out of bed every morning. You kidding me? Look how big he is. Kidding me? Saw him on CNN today. Dude looked like freaking, he was just a fart away from a heart attack. Like, bro, put the food down. Push yourself away from the table. Seriously? Guy probably gets winded getting out of his car. Just saying.
He looks like he groans every time he tries to stand up.
It hurts. It hurts.
I've got to use my mouth other than eat. Oh, fuck. Oh.
All right, Tyler mentioned the CDC stuff in the text messages we were doing. So what do you got, Tyler? What do you got on the CDC changing their percentage of coronavirus deaths and all that?
But they're not. They're not. So the CDC basically said, look, as you fill out a death certificate, it's very clear on the death certificate what you're supposed to fill out. You fill out the direct thing that led to death. And I also looked at the death certificates. There are instructions. You then fill out in 3 lines underneath 3 additional underlying causes that contributed to the death, right? So if you have, I don't know, if you're a hemophiliac, right? And you get in a car accident and you survive enough to go to the hospital and you bleed out. Your cause of death is that you bled out, you're hemophiliac. One of the underlying causes would be the car crash. Like, that is how they are directed to fill this stuff out as medical professionals when somebody dies. So the CDC finally released a bunch of that data saying, hey, We've just been giving you the data of how many times COVID has appeared on the death certificates. Now we'll give you more of the data about other things that have also appeared on the death certificates. So that way we can understand how COVID interacts with these other things.
Right.
People are trying to run with this like COVID suddenly is not deadly in some way or suddenly has no effect. And like, what
Are you
we
not
want
a
to
Q?
do
Are
with
you not a Q
policy?
supporter, Tyler? Are you not part of Q?
QAnon is not me, sorry. But like what you want to do with policy about COVID, okay, we can have that discussion. But trying to like undermine what the data is and what the facts are and like, hey, this is how many people have died and COVID has led to this, like you can't argue that's just the numbers, that's just the facts. You want to say, okay, well, it disproportionately affects like older populations, so we don't need to shut the economy down, everybody just wear masks for a couple months, but everybody go back to work. You want to have that discussion? Fine, we can have that discussion, that's different. But to talk about like, oh, well, it actually doesn't exist, like, okay, AIDS doesn't exist. When's the last time AIDS was the only thing on a death certificate? Never. Because it kills your immune system and then you die from literally anything else.
Ooh,
so
cold.
Obviously AIDS is killing people, but oh, if it's not the only thing on the death certificate, it must not exist. Come on, get out of here.
All the people with AIDS are offended by you right now.
I mean, it's all right. I'll take their positive vibes.
God. Straight to hell.
Yeah, I'm burning in hell for sure for that one.
Oh my.
What are you guys drinking over there, fellas? I got some Apple Crown over here. What are you guys drinking?
I have a sweet tooth tonight. I'm going with the Not Your Father's root beer.
What you got, George? What you got?
Well, I mean, I'm not really happy with my selection. I mean, it's okay, but it's not what I normally drink. I wouldn't necessarily endorse it. I'm drinking Sailor Jerry Spiced.
It's not too bad though, right? I mean, it's all right.
I'm more of
I'm gonna switch it up too because this is done.
I'm more of an Appleton. You know what I'm saying? Like Sailor Jerry, that's good. For people that don't really know much about rum. I mean, that's good for them. I mean,
George, what's your ethnicity again? What is it? Are we talking Puerto Rican? How are you not drinking good Puerto Rican rum? Come on.
I'm going to be honest.
You look Mexican to me, George.
Over here. Where the hell is Sailor Jerry from? Also,
Puerto Rico.
It's bottled in New Jersey, so whatever. Caribbean. Okay, well, there's a lot of people in the Caribbean, bro.
I'm gonna spice it up.
What'd you get there? Oh, nice.
Gotcha.
Oh, no, he made it in Honolulu, I guess. Okay, he made it in Honolulu.
Word. All right, let's get to the last topic here. Trump, is he getting reelected? George, you go first.
If he can suppress enough of the vote, he will.
Yep. I also think that he'll refuse to. I think he loses. Okay. I think he loses. I think popular vote overwhelmingly. I think electoral college. Who really? I mean, I don't know. It's a joke. Well, that's a different conversation. We can talk about that next time. I think he's going to refuse to leave office or concede. And I think it's going to get drawn out for a long period of time. I think the good thing is we have Roberts on the Supreme Court, who seems to be a swing guy and somewhat rational of the conservatives. I think it's going to go to the Supreme Court. I think it's going to go a really long time. I think he's never going to let it go. And I think Nancy Pelosi, as third in charge, is going to be the president of the United States in 2021 until they sort their shit out.
Wow, I hadn't heard that.
And it would be hysterical. I mean, absolutely funny. I would laugh my ass off if that was to happen.
Wow.
I am not a Nancy fan. I am not. We are cut of a different cloth. But how freaking funny would that be? Like the devil of the right? They would absolutely hate that scenario. And because he is so vain and just an awful piece of human filth, that will happen. And it'd be freaking, I'll be like, cheers. And I'm going to sit back and watch the world burn.
I mean, he already lost the popular vote once, so I'm pretty sure he can manage that again. Like, we'll see what
He's not
happens
going to allow the
with
post office to
with the
deliver any
reelection.
mail-in ballots, right? So
Yeah, exactly. And like, given the typical voter who that disenfranchises, like it's very clear what's in play here. So honestly, not gonna lie, like if he just was a little more stable about coronavirus, I'm willing to bet he would have won re-election. I'm
Probably.
willing to bet it because especially with
that's what scares
coronavirus
me.
keeping
That's
people
what
away
scares
from
me.
the polls, like especially in the inner cities, that's where like the big urban centers, like that's where people can't get to the polls because of coronavirus. That's where people stay home. They don't want to catch it.
Well, and
like,
reducing the
push
number
that
of
vote
poll
down.
stations, Tyler.
Yeah.
And reducing the number of poll stations, right?
Yeah, funny how you don't hear any stories about the poll stations out in rural areas or predominantly Republican areas disappearing, but in urban areas they sure are. But like,
They
if
sure
he was
are.
just stable about coronavirus,
And that's why people
I
got to
wouldn't be
show up.
surprised
That's
if
why
he got
people got to show up
re-elected.
and vote. You know what?
Yeah.
It's the same thing, right? Like you got to think of it as we're in war, right? We're talking about we're in war, right? We're in war against coronavirus, right? We're in war. You know, we were in war during World War II, right? Where people are rationing and doing things to support the war effort, right? And the war in this case is a war for your right to vote. That's the war, regardless of how you're going to vote, right? I mean, I'm sure there's people in the urban areas that are going to vote for Trump as well. I'm sure there are, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure in
yeah, absolutely.
Nashville, Tennessee, you know, they're ready to march for Trump, you know? But I think in, red states is what I'm trying to say. And I'm not picking out Nashville. Nashville's a great freaking city. I love Nashville. They got good barbecue too. I ain't gonna lie. They got good barbecue. But look at, and the people have been friendly. I've always had a good time in Nashville. I've only gone once, but that's more times that I've had good times in Nashville than I've ever had in Denver, Marcos.
Hey, Denver is an awesome city. I love it here.
You can keep it.
Really?
I love Denver. I legit love Denver. For sure.
I'm going to start a real estate company here, and I'm going to move my ass to Denver. You watch.
Keep it interstate. You got to build the empire. You got to build that empire.
It may take me 20 years, but I'll do it.
Get international.
Hey, Marcos, we're hiring.
I heard. I got an email. It's always in the back of my head. I may go back.
You may go back. You know, in case shit hits the fan, you know?
Right.
Hey, let me ask you. Now, but besides the Trump thing, because I think we've exhausted spending any more of our lives on him.
Or we're exhausted spending our lives on him.
You know, I mean, I actually, you don't on Facebook anymore. Like I deleted the app from my phone, and honestly, I could not be happier. It's fucking wonderful. Mm-hmm. I log in. I have to intentionally log in from my computer to see something, and now I basically follow a couple of groups that I'm in, and just see what's going on there. Maybe make a comment, and that's it. I think Marcos, you posted a photo not too long ago of all us playing basketball.
Yeah,
we're standing at the court, right? And
it was when Harley was leaving.
Yep, heading to Vietnam.
Yeah, and you guys started tagging me and talking shit. And Dana actually told me about it first because I hadn't seen it, and I guess it was up for like a week or so.
You were the only one without a shirt on.
You're the only one without a shirt on. Like, it's hot out there. I got to even the tan. I can't be out there in no freaking, farmer tan lines. I can't have all that. Got to be good. Got to be all natural.
Truth of the matter is, I didn't have a shirt on either. I put it on just before that photo.
I'm confident in my skin, baby. I'm confident in my skin. I ain't worried about putting a shirt on. I'll be out there. You can see it. You can see it all.
Oh, we know.
What's those posts they do? It's like no one and then blank, and then it's like, George, I got skins. George's like.
Welcome to playing basketball with us, George's Skins.
Yep. George is like, I got skins.
Hey man, not in my COVID shape these days. Even Dana was like, the gym's opened up again. I was like, damn. Like I didn't catch it.
Like that?
Like I didn't catch it. I gave her the well, I'm gonna give it about 2 to 4 weeks to see how things play out.
She's like, feel free to go back anytime you want.
Hey, bro, like seriously, I know the coronavirus is out there, but you need to get out there, hit that treadmill. You need to get out. You need to throw some weights up. You need to lift heavy weights up, like a couple times, like maybe 1,000.
I lift them up.
1,000 of them down.
You need to put some work in. Stop lifting classes and start lifting weights.
New me in
as we all lift our glasses.
New me in 2021.
2021, me, bro. New me. Give me some time. I got 3 months.
Every year.
I'll be ripped. It's just I got to be ripped during bulking season, but the whole bulking season this year just went sideways.
You lost
apparently bulking season has been the last couple months for you. It's just a real dirty bulk.
You know what's funny? Yeah. Well, the funny thing, it's a dirty, but I'm the same weight, which is awful.
That just means that you've lost muscle and gained fat.
That's all I did. I just lost muscle and gained fat. Like I'm the same fucking weight. The same.
And don't they say muscle weighs more than fat, right? So that means you have a lot of fat you put on?
I lost a lot of muscle. Yeah, I've lost more muscle than fat I've gained. Yes, I am well aware. It's disgusting.
We all go through it. We all go up and down.
I've never done like this. It's bad.
Some of us go real down.
Yeah, I've been going through it for about 41 years.
Hey, I'm still out hustling you guys on the court though, so I don't want to hear
it. Oh, is there? Oh, wait, I can't play ball Thursday. Never mind. I was just gonna ask, is there ball Thursday?
Yeah, is there?
I didn't send out a text. No one else sent out a text. I'm working tomorrow, and actually at work, not at home. So there's no guarantee what time I leave. So I'm gonna say no. And I'm leaving Friday. I'm going out to Cali. So.
And I'm out of state in Denver, so no for me.
Yeah, when do you get? I'll just be there playing one-on-one against.
You can go play with the high school kids.
Ghost. Yeah.
Good. His ass up.
I'll be back on Wednesday. Yep. I'll be back next Wednesday though, so I'm in for next Thursday if you guys are playing.
Oh, what? Funny, that one guy that Tyler always guards that just shoots on him all day. He actually was guarded pretty good this last time. I mean, like these high school kids actually managed to guard him somewhat.
He couldn't get the three off, huh?
Couldn't get the three off. Could not get the three off.
Wow.
He did deal a great assist to me, but yeah, no, it was funny. It's funny how when you have someone that can play D, actually, shut down a shooter.
Wow. Yeah. Well.
But I love you, Tyler.
I just sit over here and I feel good about myself because I win. What was it last time? Like 5 games in, you were like all like grumpy and shit because you're like, I guess I'm not winning tonight. And I was just like looking at myself and I'm like, all right, George, you don't need to win. We got it all over here.
I don't remember that.
Hey George, you said you got a great assist. Did you make the bucket?
I did. Well, that's how we got the assist, right? I mean, that's like the definition, right? Like, I don't know what to tell you.
For our next video, we're just gonna like videotape us playing basketball for like an hour straight. It'll be amazing. Fire. So many views.
It ain't gonna be like Uncle Drew where there's a bunch of old guys that can ball. It's just gonna be a bunch of old guys.
I actually wanted to record us, and I was gonna put like some circus music to it, and then post it on YouTube.
Hey, you guys saw that like worst couple minutes of basketball ever that got posted?
No.
That was amazing. It was like a high school game or something, and it was just like bad shot after bad shot after bad shot after like scramble after bad shot. It was ridiculously bad. It was nothing but just like, let me take a one-on-one step back from like three feet behind the line.
So let me ask you this. At the timeout, did both coaches completely lose their shit?
Oh, I don't know. It didn't show that.
It didn't even show that part. It just showed them launching fucked up threes and all kinds of turnovers and double pumps from 5 feet behind the 3-point line.
Double pump.
I was like, wow. Yeah, I posted it, and I was like, this is like when I go play ball with my buddies at Intel.
Really?
Yeah.
You
Wait,
posted
was
it? I
that the
gotta
one that you
search it.
tagged me and George in, and you're like calling us out for our big egos on the court?
Did he tag us on that?
I think so.
I think Jeff Reese or somebody said something about you guys, and then that's why I was like, oh, I'm tagging them now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
gotta go check that
I think
out.
it was Reese, or it might have been Shane. I can't remember which one said something.
Oh my god. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I have a little ego on the court. I admit that.
I miss playing with those fellas. As old and crabby as they are, and as terrible Blaine is playing basketball, it's something that I miss for sure.
Hey,
That
is
was
it
my
ever
call.
coming? Is it ever coming back? Are they going to ever allow lunch basketball again?
Hey,
They will.
Hey, we've been playing. I'm sure somebody. You know who I talked to the other day? Beatty. We're in a
Ooh, what?
Yeah, and we're in a meeting the other day, and I IM'd them really quickly, and I'm like, "Yo, how you been?" Blah blah blah, and I go, we've been playing ball," and he's like, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah," and he goes, "The only ball I've been doing is shooting in my driveway." I said, "So you must be dialed in." And he laughed, right? So we're playing Thursdays out here, and I'm like, "Send me a text if you want a ball," and he's like, he gave me his number, so he's looking to come on in.
All right.
Hey, I'm just saying, like, people had enough, right?
Let's do it.
It's time. It's time to start crawling out under our little hobbit holes and being like, you know what? Fuck this noise. I got insurance.
I hear you like acting like you want to play ball, but we all know the truth. You're just trying to lose weight for Dana. Let's be real. I need to run. I need motivation.
That gym's open. That gym's open.
My weight's been solid. Now the texture has changed. Texture's a little different.
Got a little more masa.
It's a little softer. I live with 4 ladies. I've gotten a little softer these days. Emotionally and somewhat physically.
Got some menudo going on there.
Man, I wish I knew how to make pozole. I tell you that. That's one thing.
Some menudo going on.
One things know that I never knew of. That shit is fire. Fire. I love it. That time you took me after we left Vegas, and we were all hungover. We had that damn fucking 5.5 hour drive back, just a mess. And you're like, yo, have this pozole at this little spot, right? You took me to a little spot. That was amazing.
Good
now,
shit.
did my hangover go away? No. But was the drive somewhat bearable? Yes.
That's how we lie to ourselves. As Mexicans, we're like, hey, menudo pozole takes away the hangover. Does it really? No. But, we lie to ourselves.
But it makes you feel good. You ate it, and you're like, it tastes good the whole time.
It tastes delicious.
The whole time. When, like, you don't want to eat shit the day after, like, you're completely hungover. You're like, oh, I feel like I'll eat the pozole. Because you're going to be like, you know what? I enjoyed every bit of the pozole. Do I still feel like shit? Yes.
Uh-huh.
But it's good. And I'm holding it down.
There you go, Tyler. Next time you get hungover, man, pozole.
Next time I get hungover, it better be with y'all. And I expect you to take me out.
Let's do it.
To go get some.
And we'll go get some pozole.
Yeah.
Hey, Vegas is open, fellas. There ain't no clubs, but we could get a bucket of beers and sit by the pool.
I mean, I could do that here.
Yeah,
at your place.
But it's not Vegas. You could do it at my place, but it's not Vegas.
Not the same. You could get a DJ out there, George. Start playing some techno.
At my spot?
You could do the lighting too, George.
You could do the lighting, George, at your spot.
George.
I ain't ready. Maybe this fall. I tell you what, November I'll do it. November.
That's pool time. That's pool season.
Yeah.
Pool season.
Come next pool season. Oh, guys, I did it, but I had to take it down. I'm so sorry.
Pool season, man, I hope next pool season, I hope we're fucking chilling and like, I don't know, fucking outside of this country. Jesus. I feel like we're North Koreans. We're not allowed anywhere. Well, actually, Koreans are allowed. People take them. But you know what I mean.
Me and my mom are like.
Wow.
Yeah. We're working here. It's these kids. You're just out here the whole time. They just come out here, take up shit.
Tell them you're building a YouTube channel. Settle down.
Yeah.
Tell them you're an influencer now.
You're a YouTube influencer. Yep.
Just a couple more follows and you'll start selling green tea and build your empire, just like
Wait,
Mark.
You know what? No. I may be selling essential oils, bro. There's a lot of Karens out there believing that shit.
Dude, essential oils, I mean, smells good, makes you feel good. There's a market.
Yeah.
Really does smell good though.
And then if you get 10 people underneath you, you get a piece of their sales. I mean, hey. There you go.
The Avon.
It's a tried and true process, bro.
It works. It
Tupperware.
works.
You could sell Tupperware. Have you seen
Mary
Napoleon
Kay.
Dynamite? You could sell Tupperware.
Yo, Jeff, you're in.
All right, guys. I think we've gone pretty long here, so we can go ahead and wrap it up. And
Wrap it up, B. Wrap it up, B.
Yeah, wrap it up. And
Yeah.
that way, hopefully we do more of these on a regular basis again. If you guys are good with it,
Yeah.
Cool.
We gotta
can
build.
do
We
one
gotta
at
build our
next to Georgia.
following.
we can do. Yeah, we were up to like 20 views last time, so I think we're good.
Just keeps
Dude.
going down.
Huge.
In November, we can do one next to George's pool. I mean, come on, we got
Oh
this.
yeah, that
We got
lighting.
You can wear a light hoodie by the pool.
We can do one by the pool. Yeah. All right, fellas. I'll see y'all next time on the flip side.
All right, man. Later.
All right,
Much
man.
love.
Later.